Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast, where we interview all pros in real estate, the nation's leading real estate entrepreneurs. So if you're joining us for the second, third, or 100th time, you're in for a treat today. And if it's your first time, you're also in for one, because we've got Andres Palma in the house, and we're going to be talking about how you can buy back your time with remote workers. So just remember, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted, to allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. With that being said, Andres, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steven. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm super excited to hop into today's topic because it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart, which is setting up your business and your life in a way that you can buy back your time without having to have a super expensive local team in your office with a bunch of buildings and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to hop right into it. But before we do that, I know you've been in business, founded iNimble here a little just shy of 5 years ago, coming up on the 5-year anniversary. Tell us a little bit about what got you into this space, how you saw a need for it, and how you've gotten to where you're at now.
Well, Steven, I'm an attorney. So I used to work for personal injury and workers' comp attorneys and estate planning attorneys. And one of the most expensive costs are every business is operational and overhead costs on building, as you said, building and teams. And it's really hard to find the right talent. It's really hard. It's like finding gold, right? It's really hard to find the right team and it's also expensive to retain them. So if you want to get your talent to a point that they spend 1 year, 2 years, it's really hard if you're not competitive enough with salary, right? So that's how we came up with the idea of hiring someone remotely in Latin America. I'm from Venezuela, so that's where we started. And then my boss told me, "Hey, can you do this for a friend? And can you do this for this friend?" And then that's how we started. We started just before the pandemic, and now we're almost 5 years. And then what we did is we built a system where people can hire, manage, and pay remote employees at a fraction of the cost.
Wow. So it sounds like you didn't necessarily fall into it by accident, but it was almost like there was a need for friends from
Yeah,
where you're originally from that were like, we need to
yeah,
work, and you were able to set up something to actually give them access to potential employers they otherwise wouldn't have access to.
correct. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. I mean, it's a win-win situation. Um, there, there are really good professionals, high standard professionals, and that they need the job. And here, there are really good business owners that they need to cut on business expenses and operational expenses. And so it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. You know, it's kind of funny too, because my one of my really good one of my best people I've ever hired was a remote worker from Venezuela. So that's kind of funny. It wasn't through your company, but that is kind of funny, because I've had an incredible experience with all the remote workers that I've hired for various tasks and needs in my businesses throughout the past few years. So now, what are some of the top ways that businesses, real estate investors, providers, etc., what are some things that they're missing that they think cannot be done, that has to be done by somebody in-house, that you guys are really solving as like real problems in their business for a fraction of the cost it would take to hire someone domestically?
Yeah, well, first of all, what I really see is the need of the follow-up with the customer journey. So once you onboard a prospect, you need to follow up with that person to help them with the documents, the requirements, the documentation that they need to follow through the process with you guys. And then um, once they start doing that. I mean, the business owner is in charge of getting the first contact, right? Or getting out there in advertisement. But then you get that prospect and you need to pre-qualify that prospect. You need to help that prospect with the documentation and follow through the whole process on customer journey. And that takes a lot of time. And sometimes you do all that investment in the whole process, and then you don't close the deal, and then you lose ton of money on an assistant that is doing calls for you, and then if they don't get closed, then you don't get paid, but you do have to pay that person. So if imagine if you can do that at a fraction of the cost, then of course you're gonna pay, but you pay 30 or 20% of what you're usually paying here in United States, and you're still getting the job done. But because I mean, to be honest, I mean, you can do everything on a phone call or a Zoom call. And we're recording this remotely too. So it's something that is nowadays is the way that people are comfortable enough to work with. I mean, you get a call and you have to win that trust throughout a call, and then you do a Zoom call and you use remote tools to get in touch with your customer. So you can lower your operational costs just by hiring someone remotely, but at the same time, it's giving the high standard and a great customer service while you're focusing on getting more clients.
Yeah, 100%. Frees up your time to do more money-making activities. 100% agree with you
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
What are some of the things that differentiate what you're doing at iNimble? Because I think, at least from what I've seen, VA companies, remote work companies, like they're becoming a really big thing that wasn't
Mhm.
as much utilized 20 years ago, but nowadays it
Yeah.
seems like you run out to an office park, throw a stone, and you hit a VA company. So what are the things that
Yeah.
you guys do to really differentiate yourselves in the marketplace?
Yeah. So first of all, there's three things. If you want to grow a business, there are three things that you need to be aware of. And we partner with coaching companies that have that work along our customers to make them grow. So first of all, we establish the right strategy for the client to for them to grow. I mean, if they grow, we grow, right? So that's the first step that we take. We need to organize or establish to have a look and analyze the business and say, hey, you need an intake person, or hey, you need a manager that will take care of all these appointment centers, or you need 10 cold callers. That's what you need, and then we establish the process.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Based on the personality perks that you need on that team, because not everybody's made to be a salesperson, or not everybody can be a good marketer or a good virtual assistant. I mean, you need the specific the personality traits to align whatever you need, whatever goals you have, to that talent. And we take that very seriously. So every time that we align and we match these business owners with virtual assistants and sales and sales rep and marketers, what we do is we take a look on their personality. We do a pre-vetting process. So we make sure that the process that we put in place in the beginning are aligned with the personality of these people. So you're just not getting someone all of a sudden that is in another country you don't know. We pre-vet them and we make sure that they're equipped with the personality and the experience they need to get to the goal. And after that, we set up the system, we align the person in the personality and the experience with the right goal. And then we check the results. And month to month we check with the employer if we're getting the results out of this team. And if we need to correct something or to train something or to equip them with a specific software, we review that and we apply that, and then the whole process start every month. So we're not just matching you with some random VA in Latin America. We're taking ownership and accountability on what we're putting our work with. So we're taking ownership on, hey, we want you to achieve the results, we want your team to get there, and we're gonna make sure they do it.
Mm. What are some of those unique ways that you like vet workers before they, get placed?
We develop a system based on AI, and this assessments, personality assessment, and therapy assessments. And what we did is we developed this AI tool called Olympia. And what we do is everybody that applies to our company, we put them through this all these tests, and once they finish this, we put them through this Olympia system that we created, and now we will have a whole picture of the personality of this person. So we know the whole we have like a X-ray of that person, and once we know that, we match that with the human factor of the business. That's what we call. So we develop, all right, so we need someone with sales and that sales drive, right? So you don't want someone introvert. You don't want someone like technical. You want someone who is good at talking, who is reliable, who is likable, right? So that personality trait is really specific, right? So all the vetting that we do before we do interviews and before we put them in front of an employer, what we do is we vet them, and when we do this process on determine what's the X-ray of their personality. And once we know that, now we put them in front of an employer and align them with the goal.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. That's super smart. What makes you really passionate about what you do?
Um, what makes me really passionate is be able to help people in both ways. As we
Mm.
started this interview, I mean, it's a win-win situation, man. I mean, it's just we're cutting operational costs for business owners, and I myself, as a business owner, I know that's the most difficult thing to do. I mean, to
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
be able to make money, but at the same time save money is it's like you have to spend money to make money, right? That's what everybody tells you. But if you want to really grow your business, you don't need to spend that kind of money if you're smart, if you find ways around, right? And that's what makes me passionate about, to be able to help business owners and at the same time help professionals in Latin America that are really high standard, they're really good people, and they're really talented, and they just need that opportunity, that that work opportunity to be able to grow as professionals. So that win-win proposal and that win-win situation, that's what makes me the most passionate about.
Yeah, and what are some of the challenges you see in your business when somebody is maybe skeptical about, hiring a remote worker versus someone
Yeah.
local?
Well, man, to be honest, it's accountability. Is my remote employee really working? Is are they just with the in front of the computer and watching Netflix? I mean, those are the questions that you get if you're hiring remote. Um, you get that's what it's inevitable to think that because you don't see that person in front of you, so you're just depending on results, and that's why the way that a remote environment needs to be put in place is based on results and based in processes that have regular check-ins and regular results or regular products of a work that you can continuously check, and you will definitely see the results from both sides, from your employee and from the sales perspective. So at the end of the day, that's actually the the most difficult part, but at the same time, that's our biggest differentiator, accountability. So we are being able to grow this way because we offer accountability. We offer,
Mm.
hey, these people are actually working for you. I mean, they're not watching Netflix, they're not, clocking in and then stepping away. They're actually working and giving you results because at the end of the month we're going to provide you with these results. We're going to report to you and check with you these results.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense because like I have a personal experience where I hired a remote worker one time, and it was completely my fault, like that I wasn't more adamant on some of the accountability, but I also didn't work with a VA
Yeah.
company at the time. This was a person that
Mhm.
had worked with some people in the past, had a great reputation,
Sure.
and we hired her, and she was actually primarily supporting one of the people on my team, and they worked with us for a little over a year, and it finally came to where my accountant was like, "Hey, you have this person. What is it that they actually do for you?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't know." And so we did an audit of the actual time being spent, and we were still paying them full time, but they were only working about 40 hours a month
Wow.
because we just didn't have enough or didn't put enough for them to do. So how can working with a VA company, virtual professional company, remote worker company, kind of save people from that with the accountability? For example, when they don't know how to say this task should take this long, and since it's by the hour, like I think photography, for example, or not
Yeah.
photography, but like digital design. things of those nature where it's like, well, I don't really know how long this thing takes. Like, how can having those checks and balances through a remote work company help them actually save themselves from spending $1,000 to $1,500 out of pocket for
Yeah,
work that's actually not being done? They just don't even know about.
yeah. So we experienced that ourselves. So we're talking from experience standpoint. We That's why we develop our own tracking system. So the way that we started living ourselves that situation, and then we find out, hey, we need to track time, and we need to check when they're clocking in and clocking out, right? We need to know if they're working or not, right? And we need to develop a KPI system, which is every time that they complete a task, even if it's a small task, they need to report it. And at the end of the day, we'll check all those tasks, because we know at the end of the day all those tasks need this amount of time. So the 5 years after that initial idea, we develop a system where we set up an implementer, which is someone who will just check with that person, with that business owner. They will list all those KPIs and the amount of time that they need to be invested in those KPIs. And those KPIs will be put in our software, and you will be able to see it real time. And then you will log in, you just click and time tracker, you will see that person is connected and is working. And at the same time, you will be able to see if that person is completed those KPIs in real time. So at the end of the day, you just need to monitor if the work has been done in the amount of time that you requested. And that's actually the best way to determine if someone is working or is doing the job, is by the results. Because even if someone is sitting in front of you and they are quote unquote working, they can be actually pretend they're typing. And actually, there's a joke in the office, in the series The Office, that the guy is just typing and thinking about going on a trip to the Bahamas, and that's what actually happens. I mean, even in a regular work environment, there are a lot of people that just pretending to work, and then they're not doing anything because they're just locked out. I mean, they're just thinking another thing, or worry about where they're gonna do on Friday night or whatever. And that's why you need to focus on the results on the management on your team, even if it's a regular work environment. If someone is working, if you have a whole team, and the team is working for you, and you're watching them. I mean, you can see them working. You can see them in front of the computer. You actually need to check if they're working, because at the end of the day, what you need as a business owner is results. And what they want to give you results if they want to keep working with you, right? So it's a win-win situation when you focus on results, not in just the person sitting in front of the computer or just sitting in a chair. You want that person to be able to perform and give you results. So that's the best way to approach any team, remote team, of course, but any team is establishing a KPI, a list of KPIs, a list of a strategy, and the amount of time that needs to be added to those tasks. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, check the results.
Mhm. Love that. Absolutely. So, Andres, if people want to learn more about what you're working on or they want to connect with you, where should they go for that?
They can go to my Instagram. It's Andres Palma. It's Andres Palma, like my name, just with it's at the beginning. So add it's Andres Palma.
Awesome. Well, y'all go drop him a follow and check out what he's got going on. Andres, I'm super grateful for you showing up today and
Thank you,
and doing
Stephen.
the recording with me here. And everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you're like me, I know you got a ton of value from it. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.